Hi, so this is Fox or Enna or whatever you want to call me. Uh, week 2 of Fox and Thoughts. This is actually the first time I'm retaking this video. The first time I did, I wasn't satisfied with it. So we're doing it again. So if I don't know what would happen as a second time. But we're gonna go for it, aren't we? Okay. So basically, this is like the podcast without the pod or the cast, and it's a collection of random thoughts from last week, um, collected over the week. I don't know how many weeks in a row I can do this, but this is the second week. Um, don't expect things to flow, but I'll try my best. Yes, that's how it's gonna go. So, first thought of that week was who asked for live action remakes of Moana and Lilo and Stitch? So, I heard that there's going to be a live action remake of Moana and of Lilo and Stitch. And if you're looking at the screen right now, which I suggest you do for this video actually, because I have pictures, there is the thumbnail, I guess, for the official trailer on Disney Plus Original of the live action Moana. I am not, I don't, I thought, I feel like it's kind of weird, but also why? And at the same time they're making this live action Moana. You know what they're also doing? They're making the sequel of the animated Moana. Did it need a sequel? I remember Moana because I watched it, okay? So I don't remember feeling like it needs a sequel. I don't know. And it seems like from what they have released so far of the trailer for the animated sequel is Moana is like older now. Um so but I don't think she's an adult yet. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're going to do with this movie. It seems like some terrible thing is going to happen, so she has to go, I don't know, save the world or something. I don't really know um what's going to happen in that. Yeah. So yeah, the live action Moana. I don't know what they're gonna do with the characters. Remember, I don't remember the names of the pig and the chicken, but there was a pig and a chicken, right? What are they gonna do with those? Are they gonna make them realistic? Which is, it's going to be weird. I mean, I didn't watch the live action Little Mermaid, but Sebastian was just a crab. He was just some crab. Um, and I don't know. I feel like live action just ruins things, especially with the animal characters. So Lilo and Stitch. So all I know about Lilo and Stitch is about the actresses that have been chosen for Nani and Lilo. Um, these are screen picture grabs from a certain website, entertainmentweekly.com, which is where I found these pictures, and I'm going to put the link to the article so you can read about the rest. They also mentioned who the voice actor for Stitch is going to be, but they don't show any picture of what Stitch is going to look like. There's been some AI generated images of a realistic Stitch, but don't believe those. That's not what Disney hasn't said anything about what Stitch is going to look like. And yeah, apparently there's been some controversies surrounding the choice of the actress for Nani. Not that the actress for Nani is any way controversial, not the actress herself, but just that some people had some thoughts about the choice of actress. It's a similar controversy to the live action Little Mermaid Ariel choice of actress. So you can probably guess what that is. Anyway, yeah, gonna make a live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. I feel like that Disney, instead of making a sorry about that. Instead of making a live action remake of Lilo and Stitch, they could have made their original, like, take some Hawaiian folklore or mythology and created their own movie. That would have been awesome, but they didn't. So, are they just running out of ideas or are they being money hungry? I am not so sure. But I thought, oh, if they're running out of ideas, I have some ideas for you, Disney. You should look at middle grade fantasy. Or not. Because I have heard about Disney not wanting original characters of other, like, authors. Like the author's original character, like they don't want that for some reason. I don't really know if that's true. I don't really know why they would say that, if it is true. But I do want to say, oh, by the way, if you're watching the screen right now, there is a picture up on the screen of this trilogy, the Stormkeeper's Island trilogy by Catherine Doyle. It's one of my favorite middle grade fantasy series. Would I say of all time? Maybe. And this is also one of my favorite photos that I did of these books. So, yeah. So I thought that this Stormkeeper's Island trilogy would make a fantastic animated movie. I mean, I would love to see it animated. It would be so cool. But would Catherine Doyle want that? Would Disney want that? I don't know. Maybe not. But it would be awesome to see it animated still, even if it wasn't Disney. Anyway, moving on to this thing. The next thought. Here. The thing where books tell you all their tropes for marketing. Have you seen those? It's like a book cover and then these arrows are coming out of it. And it says like, friends to lovers, epic, adventure, tearjerker. Anyway, we'll see an example here. I found this example on when I looked up graphic tropes, fiction book type of thing on Google image search and looked this up. And this is one of the images that I found. So I'm just pasting this here just to show you what I mean. This one has the arrows pointing at the book. I've seen arrows pointing out of the book as well. But there's no blurb. Usually when I see these sort of graphics on Instagram, there is no blurb. It's just this. It's just tropes. You know what? I don't really, I like it on this one. It says like mystery, bisexual panic, angst, high school drama, plot twist. Okay, those are okay. But friends to lovers and tearjerker, tearjerker is subjective and it's not a trope. Friends to lovers is, yes, it's a trope, but it's revealing the plot, I feel like, unless you have this in your blurb. So if you put this thing up, and then you also have a blurb, which is saying that the characters were friends, but they catch feelings for each other. But still, I think you can say catching feelings, but doesn't exactly mean that they become lovers, right? So I still think that saying friends to lovers or enemies to lovers is too revealing. That is something that I want to know when I'm reading it. I want to find out. I don't want to know that going into the book. You know what I mean? Maybe some people do, but I personally don't want to know that before going into it. Plot twist, however, I read, what was it called? The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos. I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name. The Shadow of the Wind. And it was written on the back by Stephen King. It said, in which plot twists have plot twists. And I was like, there's plot twists. And then was it Shadow of the Wind? I'm making it, I'm sort of, because I read, there were two really good reviews on two really good books. I also read Inferno by Dan Brown. I think that was the one that said there's plot twists within plot twists. Or was it the Shadow of the Wind one? I don't remember. I think I have the Inferno book with, no, I don't. That's at home with my parents. I think I have the Shadow of the Wind book with me, along with Angel's Game, which is like kind of like the sequel, kind of complementary novel. Anyway, going off track. Basically, I think that people are misusing this. So in this next slide, you'll see one that I found online. I think it's from the same website this person is making these. And this one I think is a little bit better. The only one that I had problem with was it says estranged best friends to lovers. Okay, so estranged best friends is already interesting because, and then it says roommates. So these estranged best friends become roommates. It says second chance romance. I think that's okay to keep in there. But saying that they become lovers, I don't want to know this yet. I mean, this says romance all over it. Obviously, there's going to be some lovey-dovey things, and also says adult with steamy scenes. So there's going to be something. So you don't even have to say lovers at all. It's already implied. There's going to be something going on. But anyway, I do think it's kind of revealing. You can't reveal the plot unless you have the blurb underneath this. Often I just don't see the blurb. There is no blurb. I want the blurb. Give me the blurb, please. So I thought I would have a go at it with my own book. This one actually isn't out yet, but it's going to be out this year. Yes, I can say that. I can say it'll be out this year. I can't say exactly when, because I really don't know what's going to happen. But I did the one where, so this previous one, the one that I thought was good, had arrows pointing out. And the first one I thought had arrows pointing in, but I think the arrows pointing out is much better. So I did the arrows pointing out because it's like coming out of the story. So what I put in for my YA fantasy, portal fantasy, I need to stick that in. Between Roses, MC is main character, by the way. MC has some kind of magical power. It's a portal fantasy. And I had a long one here. Wonderland inspired insanity where people say it's wrongly right or died in a cup of tea, or they tell main character to give the shower back once she takes it. There's also a monster of madness that haunts the land. So was just like if I just posted this on Instagram without the blurb. But in all honesty, I still would, like, as a reader, I want the blurb. This doesn't tell me much about anything, really. It doesn't tell me anything about the actual story. It's just tropes and stuff, right? Speaking of blurbs, another thought is the book blurb writing is hard. So, I'm working on this. I don't want to say it's a stupid book blurb, but I'm starting to feel like, oh my gosh, it's stupid. You know, if you've been in school or you are in school and the teacher says write an essay and you're like, oh, I have to write this essay, this stupid essay. That's what I feel with this blurb now because it's just so hard. Between Roses is a young adult portal fantasy novel. What I can't give you is a summary. I can't give you a summary. It'll be too long. I have to give you a teaser, like a little movie teaser. I can't tell you about the plot, but I have to make it interesting. So I can't tell you the whole plot, of course not. But I have to make it interesting. It's to tease it just a little bit. I can't give you all the details, but I have to give you some details. I have to name drop, but I can't do it too much. About this name dropping thing, I saw someone on Facebook commenting on somebody else's book blurb, not mine, saying that just mention the main character's name, don't mention any other name. I thought, I mean, that is one way to go about things. You don't have to mention other names, but you can. But you can't do it too much. That's the thing. Grammar, of course, you have to make sure your grammar is up to par. You can't sound dry, but you can't overdo the dramatics either. Also, there's a word limit. It's 150 to 200 or 250 words. I've seen some blurbs on Amazon that are over 250 words. And it varies depending on your genre. So when I look at fantasy, they tend to be long these days. In the past, in like the books published in the early 2000s or the 1990s, they were a lot shorter, less than 150 words even. Or maybe it was 150 words, but they were really short. So it varies. So then you're like, okay, now what? What do I do? No idea. So we're moving on to the last thought. This is something that I've been feeling these days. So I watch a lot of movies. I've seen a lot of movies. I haven't been watching a lot of movies recently. They just not interested much. Yeah, no, I haven't seen Dune. I don't know. I had heard some negative reviews about the movie. I don't know. Maybe someday I would watch it, but I'm not particularly, it didn't really excite me. I mean, I wasn't particularly familiar with the books. I've never read the books either, so I wasn't really familiar with it or anything. So it didn't really pique my interest when the movies said they would start coming out. So I had this thought of the loss of old school fantasy. When I mean old school, I mean like it's somewhat European, somewhat medieval, somewhat with magic, or it's just very intricate, epic lore involved. There's dense world building and history of the world is explored, that sort of fantasy. And usually the characters fight some big bad, go on some epic quest. There's fighting involved. There's definitely fighting involved. And it's just, and the character relationships are so intricate and close, and you really feel for these characters. And these are on the screen, you will see. I keep saying on the screen because I want you to look. Okay, so I have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, depending on where you live. 2001, it came out in 2001. And did you know that Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter came out in 2001 in November. And then a month later, almost exactly a month later, because it says in theaters November 16. This is a movie poster I found. And The Lord of the Rings, the first Lord of the Rings, also came out in 2001. Almost exactly a month after Harry Potter. December 19, it says. So I thought that was interesting because I didn't know that they came out in the same year, and they also came out almost exactly a month apart. That tells you something was going on in the early 2000s with these fantasy movies. Although I can say that yes, they came out into 2000s, but they were probably producing in the 1990s, right? Late 90s, right? So maybe the loss of the old school fantasy, height of old school fantasy, production wise, is probably in the late 90s, maybe, right? So I don't have anything here for 2002. I didn't really look it up. I just looked up fantasy movies 2000s, and these are the ones that came up. The next one I have here is The Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, is 2003. That is almost 20 years ago. Wow. And also I have Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which came out in 2005. So next, I have Bridge to Terabithia, which came out in 2007. And I don't know exactly the date that it came out, but then The Golden Compass came out in that same year of December. And that was a big deal, right? I think I went to see that in theaters. Yeah, I did go see that with my parents. We went to the theater. And then in 2008 is the Spiderwick Chronicles. Now, I don't know if this went to theaters, because when I went to the video rental store, that's how I found out about the Spiderwick Chronicles, after it came to DVD. DVD? Or was it video still back then? Jeez, times were different then, weren't they? Was it video? Were we still watching video cassettes back then? Or were we already watching DVDs? Because I remember the first DVD I ever watched. Oh my gosh, this is going to put age on me, isn't it? Was the Cat Returns, or The Cat Gives Back, The Cat Returns, the Ghibli movie about the cat. When that came out, that is the time when my parents bought a DVD player. We decided to all watch it together, even though it's a movie that my dad would never have enjoyed, but because it was a DVD, we all kind of watched it together, which was an interesting experience. Spiderwick Chronicles, yeah, came out in 2008, and then in that same year, The Secret of Moonacre. Now, this is another one that I only found out about after, long after it had come out, at the video rental store. And I'm just now realizing, actually, when I said I'm just now realizing, but this is a retake of this video. So, Dakota Blue Richards is the main character here, right? She's also the main character in The Golden Compass. She played Lyra in The Golden Compass. So, that's interesting. Anyway, I was thinking that there's been a loss of old school fantasy. You don't see movies like these coming out anymore. Like these epic, just magical, just utterly, thoroughly magical, and adventure and quest and fantasy creatures galore, and just princesses and knights and just epicness. So and these movies, like The Golden Compass, was so hyped, I remember. And then we have Harry Potter, which is a big deal. Lord of the Rings, big deal, right? Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, I think people were really excited about that because that's from a ride. It's a Disney ride. It's not even, they had so much creative freedom, I think, with the Pirates of the Caribbean. They went all in. 4 movies. Was there a 5th? Yes. No? Can't remember. Okay. 4th movie was World's End. And yeah, there was one after that. What was it called? Yeah, but it had young Jack Sparrow in it. I forgot what the movie was called. I don't remember all of the subtitles, but I have 1, 2, 3, because that's like one movie, and then they should have made a 6, but they never did. So anyway, yeah, and Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia. I mean, are these movies so epic because they come from books like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Narnia? Pirates of the Caribbean is a different story. But Bridge of Terabithia is also from a book, right? I think it's a children's book. And The Golden Compass is also from a book. I don't know about Spiderwick Chronicles and The Secret of Mooniker, but so there's something missing in the theaters now. I mean, I'm not saying that Dune is a flop because I haven't seen it. But is it is anything hyped right now? Right now, at this moment that you're listening in 2024, in April or May, or a little bit later, are there any giant fantasy movies being hyped with such extreme excitement today? I don't feel like there are. I mean, I haven't heard about anything. Disney is doing their Who Asked for It live action remakes. Hollywood is falling, I think. Is it? I feel like it is. Just movies are just, I don't know what's going on in the world right now. We need some just epic, out of this world fantasy. Hopefully Avatar, not the Airbender Avatar, the other Avatar, would be coming out with the number 3. I've heard that there's at least going to be 6 or 7 movies. I mean, somebody's got a lot of ideas. Hopefully those will come out soon. Hopefully there'll be other epic things coming out, but I don't know, actually. I wish they'd done The Golden Compass as a big production movie again. The sequel, you know. I wish they hadn't stopped it, but apparently some people didn't like it. They had some thoughts. Yeah. So anyway, what are your comments? Did you have a good think? Did you thunk long and hard or not so much? Comments are always appreciated. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to this channel if you like this stuff. It's just random thoughts. Weekly random thoughts. I don't know how long I can do this weekly thing. We'll see. But yeah, it's probably going to be a mix between just random thoughts that I've had and things about writing. So, to, I guess, keep on brand, so to speak. And if you've made it to the very end of this video, your secret word is, how about, actually, when I did this video the first time, I said the secret word is unicorn, but actually, the secret word is not unicorn. That's the secret word. It's not unicorn. Not unicorn. That's the secret word. One word, not unicorn. So comment that if you've come to the very end. That would be fun. Confuse people a little bit. Apparently commenting on a YouTube video means that YouTube video is getting engagement. And so then the algorithm says, oh yay, I like videos with engagement. I'm going to push this to other people. So it's good that if you leave a little comment, even if it's just a secret word or a smiley face or something like that. Very much appreciated. I don't think any of my videos have comments right now. So if you leave a comment on this video, then you will be the first. You can comment first too if you want to do that. That's fine. I don't mind. So that's it, and I will see you in the next video. The fox is out.